All India Radio. Please stand by for the next program.
This is All India Radio. Good evening, listeners. Tonight we bring you an interview with Pandit Raghunath Seth, renowned flautist and music director. Talking to him is K.S. Rajesh.
Tonight we have the renowned flute master Pandit Raghunath Seth with us, and it gives me great pleasure to be talking to him. Panditji, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Could you briefly tell us about your childhood and how you were initiated into music?
My childhood is very interesting because in my family, most of the persons, they were connected with writing and reading, etc. None had music except my elder brother, who was very fond of music. And through him, I could listen to many good tunes, could know something about many varieties. So in childhood, when I used to come to the house, my elder brother used to sing, and then my father used to scold him. He said, why are you singing? Nobody liked music, rather disliked.
Mm-hmm.
So something happened and I started liking also. So gradually I started picking up some folk tunes, some playing little bit harmonium or tabla and something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So gradually my liking became more strong, and then I started trying to find out more music around me. So my brother, when he came from Lucknow to Nagaon, which was a very small place, I kept his flute with me without telling him.
Mm-hmm.
So when he went back, I wrote on a postcard that I have kept your flute.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come to Lucknow, I'll return it to you.
Okay.
So likewise, my yatra on flute started.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I was about 10, maybe 9 years or 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then there used to be one neighbor, Bengali family.
Mm-hmm.
I used to listen to flute playing from his house.
Okay.
When I was quite young, small child, he used to play something, but the sound was very good.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you remember the name of the
yes,
person?
I took the name Vinay, a Bengali family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he used to play flute. So I started liking his flute sound when he used to play in open ground, high flute. That shrill sound used to be very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And likewise, I started getting more involved into more and more, and then...
When was it that you got into classical music and the training of classical music? Could you just tell us a few things about it?
It's a very interesting thing. My friend, I'll tell you one very interesting instance. I didn't know classical music, little bit, one or two rag I knew at the time.
Mm-hmm.
When, in my initial stage. There was one friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
he was employed in All India Radio,
Mm-hmm.
and he called me in All India Radio Lucknow with flutes.
Okay.
So I went over there. He said, come play. I said, why play? I'm talking about 1948.
Okay.
So he said, play something. I started play something. Yes, I played. So okay. Now and at that time the contract came of 5 rupees.
Oh.
20th July 1948.
Okay.
And that was my first broadcast from Lucknow station.
Okay.
And what happened, the rag which were prescribed, I never knew.
Okay.
You asked about how much I knew classical music, so I didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
So in the morning, they gave me scheduled Bhairavi and Durga. I never knew, one of the ragas I never knew. So I started asking my neighbors and here and there other friends who were knowing music.
Okay.
So that's how it started, and then gradually I started becoming serious and learning more and more, trying to get music from atmosphere around me.
Mm-hmm. We have heard that your guidance was from the eminent musicologist Dr. S.N. Ratan Jankar in Lucknow, and later on you went on to have some amount of training from the legendary figure of Pandit Panlal Ghosh. Could you just tell us a few things about this?
At that time I was employed in All India Radio Lucknow as a flute player and music composer. And simultaneously I was studying in university also. And the building of Mary's College of Music, where Dr. S.N. Ratan Jankar was principal, it used to fall in between way. And that's how I started going more and more to music college, not as a student, but you just used to sit with the teacher who used to play flute. And Ratan Jankar ji just came once, and now from outside he listened to my flute playing. Then he asked me, "What are you doing? Why don't you learn more?" So I said, "I'll come to you. And only time is on Sunday I can come to you." So he said, "Okay, come." So I used to go to him. And mind that he was not a flute player, he was a grammarian.
When you were with Dr. Ratan Jankar, were you already in All India Radio?
Yeah, I was employed in All India Radio. I came to Bombay in 1951. And then he used to live in Malad, I used to live in Kandivali, very near, close to each other. So I used to go to him. Many times I did not find him because he was busy in other activities like flute playing in films, etc. And I also had to earn bread for my livelihood, so I used to play flute in films also. So first, how I was introduced to him, Ali Akbar Khan's music he had given music in one film, Andhiyan, in which Pannaba was playing big pieces of flute, and I played small pieces of flute.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. So that's how I was introduced to him there. At that time, there was a song which became very popular, in which I had played flute.
Could you?
Very, very old song.
Do you remember the lines of those?
Yeah,
of that song?
I remember the name of the film also, Nagma, and the music director was Nashad. And the song was काहे जादू किया मुझको इतना बता जादूगर बालमा जादूगर बालमा ओ जादूगर बालमा. Many times जादूगर बालमा जादूगर बालमा. So this was a very popular song at that time. And
so later on you were associated with the films division also. Could you just tell us a few things about that? And could you also tell us in what way All India Radio contributed to you and your career?
Yeah, in All India Radio, in Lucknow, especially I would say, the music section was so much active that they used to call artists from each state, and a great variety of artists I have found coming to All India Radio Lucknow. And it was classical music, it was light music, it was film music, it was non-film music, it was tribal music, whatever music was there in India. I have heard same music in Lucknow radio station. So there was a tendency that I wanted to learn, so I learned most of the folk music through All India Radio, classical music, various gharanas, etc. Studied through All India Radio only.
Was there any particular reason why you chose to work with the films division?
Yeah, there was one very strong reason, because I became stagnant in Allahabad radio station when I was working as a producer. The budget was curtailed by central, say, Delhi headquarters, and we were not able to produce any features or musical features, etc. And the planning of 3 months artist booking, scheduling, it was just one day's job, and then rest of the days I used to just loiter here and there. So I felt
the creativity had almost stopped.
Stopped. So I said, either you transfer me to some big station where good work is being done. So they didn't reply, so I had to resign, and I came to films division and joined.
What was your experience with the films division? And
films division too was a very peculiar organization, because giving music to documentaries has not been anywhere. There is no school for it. Yes. You have to do and learn everything over there also.
It's more of an experimentation.
Yeah, more experiment.
You have performed all over the country and also gone on concert tours abroad. How do you find the reaction of the audience in India and the audience abroad?
Yes, there is a level difference. The level difference means they are in abroad. The audience is very much disciplined, but that understanding of music, where you get applause at a proper
the apt
that
point
is missing. And but they are very disciplined and they try to learn, and you enjoy playing over there because of disciplined artists and disciplined other things also. You get good microphones, you get good halls, you get good sound, everything arranged properly.
You have contributed in a major way towards the enhancement of the flute design. Could you just tell us briefly about it? It's a very major contribution, especially, the glissando, which we have from the Madhyam to the Pancham and vice versa.
I'm happy that you are asking about music, about flute, because it's very, I don't know, without playing it is very difficult to explain. Yeah. But there was no glissando between fourth and fifth note. When all the holes are open and you close all the holes.
Yeah, it was more Pancham. Of a cut between the ma and the pa.
So that has been bridged. And bridged because I have made a key, and with key, when you close the lowest hole, and the glissando is produced. So you can go from lower to higher and higher to lower.
So it's the bamboo key which you have
bamboo key. And then not only this much, it has made some rag play in proper perspective also, like
especially the mean between.
Suppose you are playing Miyamalar. Miyamalar, your lowest note is pa.
Yes.
And in Miyamalar you have to go to ma, so ma pa ni da ni sa, like that.
Yes.
Which is not possible unless you play with the key.
You have been bestowed with several awards, and you have been recognized for your work by several academies. So what do you feel about the recognitions that you have got?
It gives you a good feeling, but at the same time, I don't think that I should pay more attention towards it, because my main duty is to serve music as much as possible.
It's been a wonderful experience talking to you, Panditji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You were listening to an interview with Pandit Raghunath Seth, renowned flautist and music director. Talking to him was K.S. Rajesh. This broadcast came to you from the studios of All India Radio, Bangalore.